They say that mystery breeds attraction, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. You may find that in your own life, there's certain places you haven't visited that you'd like to visit, or certain restaurants or types of food that you haven't tried that you would like to try. Or maybe you've met certain people that you found interesting, intriguing, but you didn't get to know them very well, so you found yourself wanting to learn more about that person. I think it's really inbuilt in the human psyche, the fact that we are adventurous beings. We do like to explore new things, learn more about ourselves, about others, about, having new experiences. We have that adventurous side by nature. So if there's a certain person that you've met and the persona that they present to you is, someone who comes across as intriguing, interesting, and it comes across as genuine, then you do so often find yourself wondering about that person, what makes them tick, how they think, what activities do they get involved with on a day-to-day basis, because you really want to know what underpins that. And maybe a part of you is thinking that, okay, there could be something about that person that could be a takeaway for your own life. It could be additive to your own life. But the fact that there's something there about the person that you find interesting that you don't fully understand, that can be a very attractive um, thing. And it can often be a romantic type of attraction, but also sometimes it is a platonic type of attraction. But when it's romantic, that type of attraction can be a real aphrodisiac, in the sense that it's unpredictable, it's unknown. You feel drawn to the person without any effort on your part. It's just quite the contrary. Not only does it not involve any effort, but it's almost something you really can't control. It's like you must learn more, you must get to know them more, you want to meet up with them more, speak to them more, be a bit more part of their lives. Um, and in the initial stages of if we're talking about purely a romantic setting, in the initial stage of getting to know somebody new, having that attraction, which is, tied to the mystery of someone who is new, it's having that attraction can be one of the important initial stages of building a relationship with somebody. That initial unpredictability, that initial unknown. Because if you do, and over time, if you find that you do share a similar value set, once you get to know them a bit more and the mystery tends to fade a bit, that becomes replaced by, an interpersonal bond, where it gets replaced by things like reliability, maybe love, and just, appreciation for the person. Assuming, of course, that it's a healthy relationship for you, because not all relationships are healthy, and not everybody who you find intriguing at first sight is healthy for you, because some people could just be putting on a fake persona just to kind of reel you in. But when it's genuine, after the initial attraction, over time that kind of builds into something a bit more reliable. But in those initial stages, it's if you want to build attraction with somebody in that sense, having that mysterious element is it's really it can play a really important role. And it's not something that you manufacture. It really comes down to you doing certain things in your life, having a positive mindset. Don't overshare everything that you do with people. If you're doing five or six things, everybody's gonna know some things about you. Some people might know most things about you, but don't overshare everything that you're doing, everything that you're thinking with everybody. Do your thing. Maybe you have certain hobbies on weekends, other things you do in the evenings after work, so on. Just try to keep yourself interested in your own life. Try to do things that are good for you. And then when you meet with people, you're going to have conversations, you're going to share some things. But the fact that you're not really sharing everything to those people, but they know that just by the way you're coming across, that you are somebody who does lead an interesting life, it's gonna trigger in them that attractive appeal towards you, thinking, oh, I like this person. I'd like to learn more about them. I'd like to understand, how they, how they why do they come across in the way they do. They seem confident. They seem at ease. They seem like they have a wholesome life, and there's a lot happening, and there's just a lot there that the people want to learn about you. So it's not something that you go out and try to fabricate. It's just one of those things where if you just want to be like somebody who is an interesting person, you just go out and have an interesting life and go out and just do things. Go out, try new things, go out, learn new things. Find your life's calling, and hopefully you can find 3 or 4 activities that you highly cherish in your life. It can be things like your job together with other things and hobbies and a mix of things really. And if you do that, then you'll find that you will attract people into your life, and a lot of them will be interesting people, and a lot of you will end up having things in common, and you can learn more about people who have things to share to you as well. So this whole thing around um just not oversharing too much too quickly, and at the same time going out and building your best life. And if somebody wants to learn more about you, then always do it in baby steps. Make sure the person is somebody you can trust, somebody that you're willing to let in, and somebody that you're happy to talk to about the detail of your life. But I think it's always important to keep some things for yourself, because we all, you know, if you tell everybody all your plans, then there's always going to be somebody who's going to try to sabotage something. It's just the way people are, because people have the envious kind of eye towards others. But this whole point about just going out and living your best life can't be underestimated. And the positive, the way that other people kind of recognize in you that you have things going on, and how that kind of draws people towards you. And then a lot of those people, like I said, are people you might have things in common with. And it can be that one of those people you might end up in a romantic relationship with, but it could be all kinds of things. Maybe joint projects, or just people who you share a hobby with, or just people who you enjoy going out with from time to time over dinner, drinks, whatever it is you like to do. But yeah, it's always good not to be too predictable, not just because you don't want people to get to know you too well, but more like it's always good to do new things, learn new things. Don't get too stuck in a habitual way of thinking. Be willing to evolve your pattern of thinking if it suits you. And I think that's good for you and most people. If you do that, you're always kind of evolving and always learning new things. They'll look at you in a more favorable light as well. And oftentimes there's a lot in it for you. So yeah, just some food for thought.